Good evening, Speed Gaming 3. Welcome to a really hype race here. We've got Scary Olive of 2Pearl2Furious against Zeruvian of TM32 God Route. Both of these guys are longtime community members and league members. Scary Olive has been in every single season of League so far, and Zeruvian has been with us since season 3, so yeah, great guys. I'm excited for this. I'm Drosy, by the way, joined here with Leaf in the comm booth. How are you?
Doing well. It's always good to see two veterans working here. Also going to quickly shout out our tracker today, Lumaga. So I asked earlier, how did I end up on a restream crew made up of League admins?
Just luck.
But
we should be underway pretty shortly.
like right now. And we're starting with a red crystal. So I guess we should talk about the mode a little bit. This is Boss Hunt. We have a open 0-7 Triforce Hunt. Where are those Triforces, Drosy?
Those Triforces are on every boss in the game, not counting Aga, as well as after Ice Armos and after Moldorm 2. So there are 12 total, and you need 10 of them.
And we're doing, when we say they're on the boss, we got a crystal out of the item box. That's because the Triforce drops from the ceiling.
Yes, like mana from on high.
And we have bombs on our tier 1 tree pole. Otherwise, it's pretty much a standard open seed. So, should be a good race here.
Yeah, and this is a relatively quick mode. We've seen a lot of invitational matches in the hour 20 range here.
It really comes down to where's the last elusive item you need in the end, from my experience.
Yeah, oftentimes it's the cane. We've seen quite a few caneless seeds, which, you know, then you have to remember IPBJ, you can't just Icebreaker, which a lot of people have gotten a little bit too comfortable with.
I'm personally waiting for one of our restream races. Ooh, that is a glove. But I'm waiting for one of our restream races to give us the legendary Bolus seed where we have somebody who can mimic clip GT.
It could happen. A lot of runners can mimic clip these days.
I've done it. I have done it in a practice, so that's why I'm excited to see if we can get it. I would kind of like it not be in this race because I know at least one of these runners cannot mimic clip, but
I've seen runners learn to mimic clip in the middle of a race before. Look up the tutorial and, you know.
Yeah. I'd like the mimic clip seed come in my game. I'm good at it.
But we should note that there was a glove in the Lost Woods, so that's a third of our Dark World access already. There was also a plastic shield that neither runner wanted, and there's Quake and Blind's Hut.
Quake and Blind's Hut? Should we have trackers mark just crystals as they come up on like their vanilla locations to mark which ones we have?
Yeah, it's a question. The only crystals we care about are 5, 6 because there's no requirement for GTs, so the other 5 crystals literally don't mean anything.
Yeah, but the one we got was Crystal 5.
I know. We'll just keep it in our minds that we have one of the 2 red crystals. And the runners, as their reward for not taking the shield in Lost Woods, get a shield in Blind's Hut anyway.
This is why you pick up shields.
Yes, otherwise we could be on Fire Shield by now.
Fire Shield's actually useful, unlike the other 2 levels.
Oh!
By the way, nice red crystals.
Yeah!
Early Darren Fairy, anybody?
That would be kind of silly if we got Aga access and a mirror and then had to make some early Pyramid Fairy play.
A pendant on Bottle Merchant? Blue pendant?
Yes, pendants are still useful for pulling Ped. And Green Pendant, of course, lets you talk to Saha. Saha will also give you a very detailed description of where the Green Pendant is. if you talk to him without it.
I do want one day to read what he says if the green pendant is in his closet.
That would be great. We also have lots and lots of money intact, so we can pay the bottle
complain about
vendor.
early money.
Yeah, why is Scary Olive
Making bombs worth more of the money input?
Okay, better bang for his buck now that he just bought 8 bombs instead of 6.
Better boom for his buck.
And he still has Zora money.
Oh, we had so much early money in this seed.
Yeah, we saw 2 300s already.
Yeah, nothing on the library we want. Anything we got sitting in race game? We want that.
So much for mimic clipping.
I mean, again, I didn't want it in this race.
I love the double take when, you know, a runner hits select and then realizes, oh, I want that. Or if they have the flute, you know, they've already blown the flute and then have to dodge the duck.
Oh, it's always funny. So, 2 red crystals. It does make me suspect we'll be seeing an early Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, I think you have to route it into your first circuit through Dark World when you get 2 red crystals that early.
You actually may see an early trip up to Catfish as a result of having 4 checks going north.
Yeah, of course, it also depends on how we get our Dark World access.
And we're getting the back of escape from both runners. You get a glove, you go to back of escape. It makes sense.
Yeah, 3 very quick items.
I'm expecting to see at least one runner head toward Eastern early here with that bow.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, it's not quite
Another
logical.
Mirror.
Ooh. Do you hold off Eastern until you can combo it with Pod? Though I guess we don't have the hammer.
We don't have Hammer or Moon Pearl right now. Maybe we'll just collect 7 crystals before we go to GT. We have 4 crystals right now.
Yeah, with the crystals scattered around the world like that, rather than on the bosses, it would have been cool to have some sort of crystal GT requirement, but
This was
we
also
didn't think
a
of it
later
at the time.
decision. It was a later decision to. I believe this was a post rules change to the mode when you found out you could do this.
Right. That was the thing. At first, we didn't know that we could put the Triforce pieces as something that the bosses actually drop rather than
There's a hammer.
prize. Oh, well, there we go. Okay.
We actually might not see Ruby go for that here. Ruby has been known to put off the floodgate. There's our Moon Pearl.
Okay. Yes, Sphere 1, as Ruby would say.
Used to say, hey, doesn't say it as much anymore. And we're getting bomb kills on these mini moments. Yep, Ruby's heading directly toward Ice Road Cave and Zora. Can't blame him with the early Moon Pearl for fake flippers or the money we got out of Kakariko.
But yeah, we could do Pyramid, or Olive could do Pyramid Fairy right this moment if he wanted to, which is ridiculous.
And Olive is out of there. He's not going for Zora area here.
Well, he has Dark World access. And a mirror, so, you know, he can always combo that with Catfish.
Exactly.
Do we think he'll duck over to do, like, Stumpy and K45 before he does Pyramid?
With both crystals, I personally wouldn't. But I don't know enough about Scary Olive's routing. So...
I mean, it's an unusual scenario that runners aren't really used to, having Pyramid Fairy less than 10 minutes into the game.
Remember really I said about having 7 crystals?
Yeah, we should have just made it 7 Crystal GT and it would have made a difference. Ooh, lamp. I love lamp.
I like that cane of burner showing up, and the lamp just continues to scream at Pod Eastern, doesn't it?
Yeah, and Cane of Burna puts Spike Cave in logic. Now that we have the lamp to put the mountain in logic to begin with.
Just money on Highly Island. Yeah, we're all of saying, no, we're going directly to the pyramid with this. The game's been too suspicious here. I would love to see the other two crystals in Pyramid Fairy here. Are we about to get both fairies within 30 seconds of each other? This doesn't happen
don't have
often.
a bottle. Hey,
that's a third shield. That's actually
was vanilla.
Is that the vanilla chest? You get that in vanilla preset.
I think so. I think shield on the right, boomerang on the left.
Regardless, that's a vanilla shield.
Yes.
We don't need to splash delete the heart container off of Zora Ledge. And in Pyramid Fairy Day, what have we got? A medallion and money.
Either could be required depending where our other items are. You know, flippers turn out to be late. Oh yeah, and right, we never checked Uncle, so here's our 10-minute Uncle check. Ruby's also going for it, but from the Light World side, so he won't be able to grab that ether while he's up there.
Well, he hasn't gone to get the hammer from...
Oh, right, he hasn't been to Flooded Spot.
The sword's nice.
Yeah. So, what do we have beatable? We have Eastern and Hera and Pod and
Eastern
Thieves.
Hera, Pod, Thieves. And we're not far from... There's something else we're not far from that I can't think of.
Well, I mean, if we could get into Desert, we could beat it.
If provided the keys on the torch.
Oh, true. Obviously, we just need a fire rod to beat Moth.
And here's the pod direction play from Scary Olive. Scary Olive is getting to a lot of this very efficiently with the mirror. So...
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing about, like, Sphere 1 progression. If you don't get it and your opponent does, it can really set you back. On the other hand, Olive did not do the front of escape.
We'll have to see if that punishes it all.
Okay, we got a red meringue from Saha's closet.
I was about to be sad if we didn't... Oh, okay.
Okay, so we know it's in Pod, we know it's the green pendant, so that'll be great for turning it in. We know it's not on the boss, or he would have specifically said Helma King.
Wouldn't that be funny if, in a prize shuffle, it still just ended up being on the boss anyways?
Have we found the map of Hyrule Castle yet?
I missed what was in Boomerang Chest, but otherwise we have not. And it looks like the answer is no, we have not, given that map check. That menu check. Which means our map is in Dark Cross.
Right, so Ruby can just get out of there, which is nice.
Please go south, Ruby. He's going to go east to Eastern for density.
Oh. Yes, he is. We still be able to beat Eastern, though it's nicer with a lamp.
I mean, we have a sword. It'll be fine.
This is fine.
I can dig it.
Yeah, that's 2 fetch quests already that we have available. And now it's kind of nice that Olive didn't check Stumpy, because that's one more thing for him to route in.
No, Olive's heading a very efficient route so far. But we'll be able to see what's here in Eastern. And yeah, chat's right. The skips happening in Olive's case are paying out so far.
Well, he's just been following the breadcrumbs. It just so happens that he got a breadcrumb that Ruby didn't.
Exactly. And he didn't do Ice Rod Cave because he got access to a whole lot more.
Right, I mean, it's not uncommon if a runner gets early Dark World access that they just stop their Light World checks and see what they can do in the Dark World.
Especially with an early near like we have.
Right. So you can get
Actually,
back and
this
forth.
is a really full menu for 15 minutes in.
The mitts are, of course, going to be a big thing because they lock 5 out of the 12 Triforce pieces.
Potentially 6, depending on where that desert access is, too.
True.
And, I'm a firm believer in as soon as you can get into more than the first 3 checks of GT, it's a good play. Of course, that requires us having, the hammer, cane and fire rod, boots or hook shot, you know.
Yeah, we're not on the verge of going into GT yet.
Well, for one, we can't get there. We don't have a mitt.
Well, that's
Why
what
do
I
we have
mean. It's one of the many things that is
6
keeping us
crystals
from
known.
it. Olive's really been having fun bouncing turtles up and down.
I mean, it's fun, isn't it? This is a little bit of a scary Helmsor fight with 5 hearts and a fighter sword.
Leaf, you've played Final Fantasy V, right?
No, I've not.
Oh, because there's a sage who's a turtle you have to talk to, and at one point one of the characters is having fun, pounding his hand and making the turtle hide in his shell and stuff.
Okay, but clever use of Can of Burna. Make sure it avoids damage here from Helma.
Unfortunately, you can't use Burna and the bow at the same time. Gets Helma down.
And we're on our way to Armos Knights on our right-hand screen. And we have our first Triforce piece of the match going to Scary Olive. That Popo just... Wow.
Yeah, Ruby having trouble in the dark room.
Well, Popo
Decides to leave
intercepted
and get
that
a
arrow.
fairy. Yeah, I think he landed one arrow into the Igor when it was actually moving. Okay, there we go.
I'd like to shout out Lumaga, who is actually tracking every crystal on the tracker for us.
Just for good measure. Thank you, Lumaga.
I mean, it's not a bad method if you pay attention to numbers come in, but the big ones are just tracking that the red crystals, I think. Hook shot. Okay, this is just getting...
Yeah.
Everything is falling in order for us.
Yeah, and Ruby really needs to go to the dam and get that hammer. And flute, okay. Sure, why not?
Okay, so now we really want to find those mitts.
So Pod has 5 items, and we've gotten, like, trackable items so far. Shovel, flute, hook shot. We know Green Pendant is going to be one of them.
We have access to every item in Pod because we got the map, so I don't remember if we have not found the compass, so Scarolov has to find that last item here.
Yeah, and we know Harmless Hell weighs a small key.
So the green pendant must be in the big chest right now.
I would hope so, otherwise Saha was lying.
And that would be a bug report.
Yes, there we go, okay.
Also worth knowing, we didn't find anything major in Eastern, but we did get our first Triforce for Zeruvian.
Who is now going to feel bad as he discovers the hammer at the 20-minute mark. If you're in Ruby's shoes, do you do like Agena at this point, thinking, well, my opponent's probably... Yes, he is, because you figure, well, my opponent's probably had Dark World access for a bit now.
Making the Agena play to get information on Desert Ledge and see what we find. Actually, it looks like just going for Agena. It's a case where if you don't do it, you're not coming back. If something's here, you can maybe assume that your opponent didn't get it yet. Right,
it's like, my opponent almost certainly had that hammer early, which means he had Dark World access early.
And it just paid out!
Wow, okay.
Okay, so on one side, Scary Olive has pretty much the entire Turtle Rock kit. On the other hand, Ruby has the mitts.
Right, and that's the thing that I don't think...
That's Mountain Kit.
I don't think Olive's really gonna go there without either the mitts or the book. And since the mitts are there, if he doesn't turn on the book, it could be a while before he gets those mitts.
Yeah, that is an awful spot for the mitts in the seed, because the game does not encourage you to go there. Olive is going to make the play for skipping Big Key Chest. In the situation of how much stuff is open to him, I don't blame him. You can actually get away with playing a lot more aggressively in this mode than some other modes, because it's a little more freeform in what you're looking for.
Yeah, you can miss certain items, like Samaria, or the bow, or the flippers. Not all of them at once, but one of them, yeah, you can do without.
I think my last practice, I didn't find the flute and the flippers and the mirror. That was a wild seed, though, so... Yeah, you follow the red crystals here when you have them that early.
Oh, of course. Yes, Ruby will get his ether, and then hopefully he'll go into Pod, given how many good items we found there.
I mean, it's a clearable dungeon.
Right. Meanwhile, Scary Olive should be going to Saha after this, since he has the green pendant and Saha's right there.
So if you... I know you're not a runner, Drosy, but you've watched enough. Where would you go after the Saha play if you were in Scary Olive's shoes right now? Because you have the mountain open. You have a Village of Outcasts open.
I'm probably thinking mountain. Even though I don't have the mitts for Dark Mountain.
Oh, look, money for Pod. As chat points out, Ruby doesn't have it.
Oh, well, he does now.
He does now.
And Saha just giving us a finder's fee. Actually, I think you activate the flute, but then that raises the question, since you're in CAC to activate the... No, he's not activating the flute. Oh, he's checking the... Oh,
he's doing south... With no mitts, he's doing South Dark World into... into flute activation.
That makes sense.
Kind of like an NMG style, an NMG Hundo style route.
Right, so he'll get 4 checks on his way to CAC.
Ruby hitting the mushroom turning into catfish here.
Oh, interesting. So he's going to have a long walk to pod afterwards. But again, he's... Oh, Bugnet. He's correctly figuring it's stuff that Olive probably hasn't done.
It's also a case where Olive can combine these with the Zora area from a north play right now. Ruby has a dead end here. Because he's already done Zora.
Right.
Oh, those are boots.
Yeah. Nice find.
Pod has a shovel for the boots. And what does our friend the catfish have today?
Garbage.
Does take the arrows since he's just on Helma.
I have to imagine Ruby goes... Nope, he's doing a Sank start.
Yeah, he's gonna... I think he's making the assumption that Olive probably did pod and wants to... He also has the mitts and can make different plays, too.
Yeah, the problem is it's keeping him away from the boots, and...
The hook shot, the flute.
That'll allow Olive
This
to
is a mountain play.
Oh. Without the... Well, I guess he has the hammer.
He has access to all of Death Mountain except for Hookshot Cave right now.
Right.
This is the biggest density. Which, when you're looking for items, density isn't a bad way to play.
I mean, he can do left side GT basement if he wants to do a lot of bomb jumping. Yeah.
So...
But unless he wants to Moldorm bounce, he's not getting the Triforce piece at the top.
Hey, there's my cane.
Yes. GT basement looking slightly more appealing now.
You have to do... At the moment, you have to do a bomb jump with lamp and no boots, which is more difficult.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about the no boots. Yeah, that makes it tough to get through the room in time.
It's doable, but it's tough. Is that our first bottle?
Yes, I believe so. Someday we can check Sick Kid.
And we're getting our Tower of Hera dive here. We can't clear... Well, yeah, we can. We just don't want to if we find a small key. But luckily, we don't consider that. That's an ice rod at chess game.
Ooh, nice. Well, we still need the fire rod. Relatively unlikely that we'll go all the way to Trinex, assuming we have other dungeons we can do.
But if you can full clear on the first triple, still looking for stuff, it is a 5-item dungeon play.
Oh, well, and 6 if you count Mimic Cave.
I'm sorry, what cave?
do you not believe in it?
I haven't actually gotten to play one of these seats with a mirror in a bit.
Oh.
Still 0 for 2 on dungeon items here, or on actual items.
Yeah, Ruby's not going to risk a bomb jump. He's going to get to the big chest the way the game intended you to.
It's a comfort thing on that. I know he's not as comfortable setting up on the Hera bomb jump because it's a very painful punishment if you miss it.
So, I guess there's an item in the basement.
Gee, what tells you that?
We got a Bloomerang in Thieves Town.
Not what Olive's looking for.
So in Ruvy's shoes, do you do Hera basement and again try to press what you think Olive isn't doing?
Not before the East Death Mountain here.
That's fair. Then you can come back and combo that with, like, Spike Cave. Down goes the dorm.
And there's our second Triforce piece for Zeruvian. There really isn't a lot to talk about in Thieves Town, is there?
Not yet. We found a few items already. I don't know how many are left, though we did get the small key in front, which is relatively
Yeah, we have
unusual.
at least 2 items back here. Samus
Well,
looks pretty good in green.
I guess both males were in Vu after a fashion.
Yeah, one was in Brewery.
Oh, there's another bottle on the mountain that's mirror locked. Go figure. Oh, that reminds me. Zeruvian's tracker should have that bottle that was on Spec Rock.
Oh yeah, should. I didn't even notice it wasn't lit up. We appreciate our trackers.
We keep them honest as they keep us honest.
Mm-hmm. We'd be lost without Lumonga right now, though.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially with how many items have come up. Just look at especially Olive's tracker.
Which is funny, because we've also seen so many crystals, too.
Which Lumonga has dutifully been tracking.
I'd like to point out, we have seen 8 of the 10 prizes.
We're missing 1 crystal and 1 pendant.
We need the red crystal, excuse me, the red pendant, and I think crystal number 3.
Would be funny if Blind has the pendant. If that happens, do you pull Ped?
Yeah.
It would be appropriate because it would be a blind pull.
Get out. Ooh, a sword.
Well, at least we don't have to risk being in sword mode now.
The power just keeps adding things to take away from going to pod here, though.
Yeah. Now seen all the fetch quests. And that's Olive's 3rd Triforce piece.
And C-shaped house has for us today explosives.
So what next for Olive? Does he go north and do
Front of Skull Woods.
Well, you think he ducks in
You're
there
running out
because
of place to do now.
well, there's also Bonk Rocks and Graveyard Legend King's Tomb out this way.
Getting our bumper ledge peak. There's nothing there.
Yeah, so he is doing Bonk Rocks, Graveyard
A
Legend.
third
King's Tomb.
bottle on the mountain.
I guess we know where all the bottles are. Maybe the 4th one isn't on the mountain.
Ruby does have ether.
Yep,
That was in
and
Game Fairy.
he has that Cane of Samaria, too, that the old man gave him.
So we can do a check 1 here on...
And then see
TR
how
at least.
far down the rabbit hole you want to go if it's a small key.
One day I will see another seed with Fire Rod on Laser Bridge and open.
I've seen that once or twice.
Nobody wants it.
But it's
Except
possible.
me right now. I want it because it's... You see, I don't want the generic things that runners don't like. I want the terrible things that runners don't want. And Oh no, Olive
Oh.
missed the Tomb Raider.
Oh, yeah, that's why you don't necessarily try Tomb Raider if you don't have to. I know he thought he was being clever, but...
Well, the big thing is you don't do Tomb Raider normally with Fighter Sword because it's much harder to get that bush removed.
Oh, right, because the fighter sword's shorter. I didn't even think about that. And there's Le Filet for Olive.
Both runners picked up bug nut. I believe we have a race this week that has runners agreeing to find the bug nut regardless. All right, and we have a first 4 checks of GT. Possibly first 8, because I know Ruby can bomb jump the DM's room. Second sword, third sword. I can count. Just as Ruby, I can count to 3. I never left a fire rod in Ice Palace one time because I forgot how to count to 3.
You know what they say, there are 3 kinds of people, those who can count and those who can't.
I thought it was there are 10 types of people, those who understand binary and those who don't.
And those who didn't realize this was a ternary joke.
Yeah, Olive is going to be able to pick up the hookshot cave and all of left side GT here.
Well, Olive still doesn't have the mitts to do anything in Dark Death Mountain.
Right, he can't do that. He doesn't have mitts.
I mean, he can do Spike Cave, but that's the only thing on Dark Death Mountain.
The boots lock the climb. That is a torch big key in GT.
Well, if Ruby ever gets over to Pod, he will get that shovel for the boots.
Ruby, please.
Yeah, this is a lot of bomb jumping when you can't even bonk.
Yeah, no, Ruby's not going to go further than this. No reward for it, though, so...
Yeah, small
now we
keys
might
and
see
jump.
Hera basement.
Nope, Spike Cave play.
Apparently, no. We're just going to do Spike Cave. We would like this fairy. We would like this fairy.
There we go. Okay, that's enough to cheese it without even using Burna.
Well, Ruby didn't have the full magic meter, so... want to have the
Right,
fairy...
but he had enough hearts to partly cheese it, and that magic would have been enough.
Yeah.
To get him there with Burna. But now he doesn't have to touch his magic meter.
So at the moment, Ruby has a combat advantage in Tempered Sword, but he is losing the movement advantage to Olive's boots, hook, and flute. All in Palace of Movement.
Yeah, I mean, the real question is basically, when does Olive get to Aegina?
Soon. We're running out of checks.
Right, and that's the thing about the boots advantage. It lets him do everything else first, faster, which will eventually force him over there.
Because Ruby's going to go check Sick Kid, go into Thieves, and clean up...
Or at least activate... Oh, no, he doesn't have the flute still. Right, he hasn't been to Pod for the flute.
No, this is not a great situation for Ruby right now. And I keep worrying that we're going to find a fire rod along the way to send him into Ice Palace. Or at least Flippers won't send him into Pod, or send him into Pod, huh? Swamp. Apparently, I want to turn this into a dungeon shuffle for mode. That would be interesting. But
He's not going to feel good about the boots when he finally gets them.
answering your question, chat, do Mitts put Olive in Go? No, because no access to... No hard fire for ice. We can't get to Trinex, Ice, or Moth.
And for all we know, Meyer is Bombos.
Yeah. So at the moment, we have a confirmed 7 doable between the two runners.
Well, we can't get to Argus either.
You're right. We don't have flippers. It's hard to keep track of these things.
So yeah, we definitely need a few more items.
The big one would be Fire Rod right now.
Yes, Fire Rod, in addition to Mitts, would suddenly give us 3 more dungeons. Okay, where's Olive off to now?
This looks like a Spike Cave run. Well, the thing is, from Crosshaves, there's other clearable dungeons too. So it's just who hitting the right order of dungeons, and so far, Scary Olive's hit that right order.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that while the Mitts certainly are an advantage because Olive doesn't have them, they also helped give Ruby options that weren't pod. But that tempered sure is nice.
Right, I think Olive is going to have to go to Agina here soon. This is a Skull Woods play.
Sick kid,
Well,
at least.
Sick kid, at least. That's fair. But, front of Skull Woods, Agina, King's Tomb.
Could be a vanilla Fire Rod, you never know.
Why would you wish
Magic Bat, right. Both runners got the powder up there.
Yeah, Ruby's trying to combine, doing Thieves First to combine it with Smith Chain.
Which is unfortunate because that just isolates the dig spot.
I'd like to point out Trinex heckling his teammate in chat about the quick swapping. I love 2Pearl2Furious. Zora area.
Nothing like when you've been teammates for 7 seasons and really know exactly what your teammate does and doesn't do, right?
2Pearl2Furious is one of my favorite league teams in the history of the tournament. So.
Absolutely. And for those of you who don't know the backstory, there was a race in the 512 Swiss where a seed had 2 moon pearls.
Why?
Well, the randomizer was a bit buggy back in those days. Needless to say, they voided the match when it was shown that there were 2 moon pearls in it.
Were they both accessible without the Moon Pearl? Or was there a Moon Pearl locked Moon Pearl, is my question.
I think they were both accessible.
Anyways, we have a blind fight going on, just according to the script right now.
I want to say like Blaine or Doomtap or someone like that was in the race.
Progressive Pearl allowing you to do different zones of the Dark World without being turned to a bunny.
Right, the second Moon Pearl gives you Mire area, the third Moon Pearl gives you Dark Death Mountain.
Oh, I thought it was first Moon Pearl gives you Spike Cave and only Spike Cave, and the rest of it is for the rest of the Dark World. And this is a Skullwood's front play by the look of it. Lumana pointed out all of Jenner's best memes. I would like to remind everybody of the fact that the League server has a Think Pendant emote that is just all of his face. So,
Where what he was saying at the time is, why am I in Pendant Swamp when it's a pendant? Or something to that effect.
but I believe that was Oase saying that, and Olive's streaming the piloting himself.
Oh, okay.
It's a classic scene. And from the Skullwoods today, what do we got?
Olive also calmed one of the very first races I ever tracked back before I'd even started calming.
Both Scary Olive's been around for a long time. Ruby and I've been around for a few years now. It's just amazing to see how this community's grown, isn't it, Drasu?
Yeah. I mean, just look at how many events we now have.
It's true.
Remember, the League was basically the first big tournament to come into existence that wasn't the main tournament.
The League was my first tournament I participated in. There's both items in Skull.
There have been some one-offs. Oh, sorry, you were saying?
We have King's Tomb. I think there's still something for Olive other than King's Tomb and Zagina. But I don't know.
Well, we can't get into Swamp or Ice. We can't get into Desert.
About that game, Desert. He's going to Desert now. He'll get his mitts in the next few minutes. But you do Desert first. Ruby needs to get the pod, and he's not going to get there soon.
Right, he's still got all of Smith Chain. Yeah, I was just thinking about what the state of tournaments looked like when we began, that besides the main, there was a one-off Overworld Glitches tournament. There'd been a one-off entrance tournament, which was not cross-world entrance. It was some more basic shuffle. There had been a one-off Key Sanity tournament. I guess Challenge Cup had just run for the first time in conjunction with the previous main tournament.
Yeah. So, we'll see if... What, other than the mitts, Olive is looking for the flippers and the fire rod, really.
Yeah. Right, Fire Rod alone after the mitts would be enough to put him in go mode. Otherwise, he'd need like flippers plus bombos. What? Oh, right. Well, no, Fire Rod would be enough for go mode even if he can't get into Mire.
Because you skip Mire and Swamp in that situation.
Right, because you can do ice at that point.
Nice silvers that Olive probably won't get.
Yeah, the problem is Ruby is so late to those boots. He's taking the long walk to pod now, all the way from Purple Chest Turn-In.
I mean, what? This is all Ruby has left, too.
Right, and he doesn't have the flute or the boots to get him around the map any faster than this.
Because they're all behind pod. Every movement utility is in or behind Palace of Darkness right now. Because the hook shot's in there, too.
Right. Pod was kind of loaded.
Yeah. The early game efficiency may have put Olive away from the mitts for a while, but it did give him all of our movement tools early.
And Olive almost certainly gets that tempered sword once he goes into GT, so Ruby's not going to have that sword advantage forever.
And with Olive's items, GT is the next sensible play once you get the mets.
Right, he'd have a much easier time bomb jumping the right side, and he can fully do the left side in logic.
This fight is terrible if you have no magic meter.
Yeah. Though I'm surprised he's using the sword rather than the hammer.
Hammer hitbox is so not good.
Okay, just keep firing arrows until something happens.
Like, yes, bow is an option, and I would assume Olive is comfortable enough with a bow, given his teammates. But
and yes, here's the last location of the mitts incoming.
Yeah, last location, Titan's mitts in Agena. Hooray. All right, so you have... I think the first thing I would consider here is the Mire area.
Yeah, the fact that he did not save and quit to the mountain means that that's probably what he's doing. Yep. Yeah, 3 easy checks plus see if you can get into Mire and therefore clear it. Oh, guess we're not going into Mire right now.
So
watch it be in checkerboard.
So right now our go mode options are Fire Rod or Flippers plus Bombos. It's just more money in checkerboard.
Right, Flippers plus Bombos means we could do everything but TR and Skullwoods.
I'm going to be honest, I'm sitting here wondering, where's the other pendant?
Right, we got all the dungeon prizes so quickly that... yeah, it's been eluding us. And Crystal 3, as you pointed out. Which doesn't do anything.
It doesn't, but if we collect all 7, it would be funny. I kind of want Crystal 3 to be in Hookshot Cave here, because it'd be really funny for Olive to have gotten all 7 crystals for GT anyways.
Well, Ruby's got to have a really fast second phase of Helma with those silvers. And he's being a good Nintendo Power Reader and using bombs.
Doesn't even use the silvers. Brings
Okay.
sort of fun.
Nice flex there.
I mean, when you're on the hammer anyways, it's a lot of menuing or quick swapping when you can just slash 4 times, so it's not that bad comparatively.
Yeah, and with the red mail, you can certainly tank hits. Remember, the game assumes you have the green mail for that boss.
Yeah, and the game also assumes you have like 7, 8, let's see, I think you can get up to like 11 hearts by that point, maybe? 9 or 10, maybe?
I think 10, if you like go back and do Lumberjack and you get the Pyramid Heart and everything.
It's especially if 10, because you can get access to 11 heart pieces before you get to the Dark World, and 12 would be on the Pyramid, plus the 4 heart containers you get along the way.
Ah, so you don't even need to do Lumberjack. There's Ruvy's hookshot. Flute incoming.
The problem here is the boots are so isolated now. Except they're really not, because I can actually see Ruby taking the south route to do shovel on the way to flute activation.
That would be good if he does.
Alright, the Ether Medallion check.
Right, because Book is in King's Tomb, which of course
Tomb.
Ruby hasn't been to without the boots.
Why is chat suggesting Fire Rod and Hera Basement? You know what, never mind. I know why chat's suggesting Fire Rod and Hera Basement.
Oh, I guess neither runner did do Hera Basement, didn't they?
No.
Chat wants Rule of Fire, of course.
I only want it in that situation if Bombos is then behind Ice Palace. Or Bombos into Fire Rod behind Ice Palace. Golden Sun MSU. Gotta love the soundtrack of this. And I would like to welcome Hera Basement to the chat.
Okay, Ruby is starting from Link's house. He has the shovel out, so boots incoming.
You either go the slightly shorter way to activate flute, or you do the shovel along the way. I think I like to shovel along the way in this situation, because otherwise you never go to it.
Right. He's just gonna feel bad that he's gonna find the boots nearly an hour in and could have had them half an hour ago.
This really comes down to where is the Fire Rod? At this point,
chat
it's
asking
guaranteed.
about Ped, but we have no idea where the last pendant is.
Yeah. We still need a red pendant to show up, and we don't know where it is. Because this is boss hunt. The dungeon prizes are in the item pool, and the Triforce pieces that we need drop from the sky.
Olive trying to show off fancy strats in GT Basement, much to his teammates' consternation.
You know, I have to race that teammate or later this week.
Oh, you and Trinex are going at it? Hey, there's Bombos!
Bombos, so flippers now make for a go mode option.
And in the meantime, that opens up all of Mire and Ice.
You don't look for flippers in ice, trust
No,
me.
you don't. No, but you could look for Fire Rod in Ice with Rule of Fire.
This is true. You finish GT first.
Oh, yes. I mean, there are 2 Triforce pieces in here. You want those. I'm not sure if you go to the trouble of doing right side basement, though.
I don't think so when you're looking for Fire Rod as an option. But that's just my take. I'm not big on trying to gamble on items being one item being past the other often. If you haven't noticed.
Yeah. Makes sense if you're looking for 2 items, then when you look for in places that are locked by one of those 2 items, you're only looking for the other, so you're halving your chances of actually finding anything. Ooh. Olive not doing too well with that last Enraged Armos. There we go.
And Triangle 6.
Triangle 6, doing the things a triangle picks.
And I didn't know I was doing commentary with They Might Be Giants.
Nice vintage song from my childhood.
You know, I sometimes sing that song when I'm playing game 2, but usually I'm playing cross keys and I find Broccoli Man. So. Alright, the GT climb for Olive, and heading off to Landmo for Ruby. And yeah, Olive's arrow count is looking a little light right now. Do we know our stun prize is?
I'm not sure I know the stun prize.
Also, chat requesting for flippers in post moment chest. That's a Triforce piece. It could be in the chest before, so. Typical gauntlet.
Yeah, but I think this does put Olive pretty strictly ahead of Ruby.
Yeah,
at
it
this
does.
point.
Because at the moment, the path that you take is following along. So it would take finding that fire rod or flippers leading to the other,
But I don't know where Ruby would go for that. So
there's nowhere Ruby can go for that.
Yeah, ultimately it just comes down to Olive had those movement items much earlier, and that was more than enough to compensate for being late to mitts. And in fact, hard last locating mitts.
No, there was still Catfish and Hera basement.
Oh, sorry. You're right.
Which, understandable, honestly.
Fire Rod could still be in Hera basement.
Why do we wish this upon our runners?
So we will get a look at 3 chests upstairs here before we get the next Triforce piece.
Olive wisely remembering, I guess, to use a lamp to light the bottom torch.
Which was the only way I knew how to do it as a kid.
This upper floor took me a minute when I was first learning the game. Because I was like, how do you... I always appreciate people sacrificing frames to bonk over the pit. It makes me smile every single time.
And we have junk in Mini Helma Room. But that Bombos did give us Meyer, so that's probably what you want to check next.
I mean, the only question is, do you do the tile rooms here? Because Olive still has GT tile room.
True. And Harrow Basement if he mirrors.
That's what I mean by tile rooms, because if you do tile room here, you probably do Harrow Basement as well, because you're considering the full clear.
Right, if you're just going to spend the next several minutes of your life in tile rooms.
You know, Olive actually has one other check that wasn't the Gina that I was thinking of.
What's that?
Olive still hasn't done the front of Hyrule Castle.
Oh, right! Wow, okay, that's another bit of his time advantage.
Are we going to have Triax making fun of more quick swapping?
Yes, it was kind of funny that he bothered taking out the murder dactyl that he just would have killed with the Bombos anyway.
I'm more laughing at the fact that to get to Bombos from Flute, he went right.
Quick swap giveth and quick swap taketh. Blessed is the name of quick swap.
I still feel like quick swap is the way the game should have been done originally.
I should time, like, in a good speedrun, how much time is spent menuing.
Like, I appreciate skillful menuing, mind you, but it feels better to play with quick swap to me. From a feel perspective. I think we're close to having to have something here in...
Unless it's Harrow Basement.
I said close, not guaranteed.
Yes. It would just be funny if the answer was Harrow Basement all along.
The more likely situation of something being locking the other is Flippers locking Fire Rod in Swamp right now.
Ew. At that point, we just never see TR or Skull Woods.
Hey, Crystal 7! Excuse me, Crystal 3. Alright, so we have 7 crystals. We like to play a game with the... Oh, wait, we already did GT. Sorry, I couldn't help on that one.
I know.
That's our second item. That's our second item. We're done here. Once we get the big key, we're done here.
So Meyer was just junk.
So, Drosy, there are 2 checks left I can think of. That are in logic.
Yes.
Harrow Basement and Bombos.
Oh, right. Bombos. I was trying to think, like, what has neither runner done? Right. Or did... Oh, are we still looking for the Meyer Big Key?
Yeah, Meyer Big Key.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, no. This is a... Olive needs to be able to go to Vitreous still.
That would be useful, since there's a Triforce piece there. Ruby must have gotten... Wait, or was... Where was Bombos? Was it GT Basement, or was it in
Rando Room.
Rando Room. Okay, so Ruby must have gotten it. I'm not seeing it on his tracker, but I can't believe he would have skipped Rando Room on his way to Ice Armos.
Chat's right, follow the runners.
Oh yes, please do follow the runners. And shoutouts to Lumaga for doing our tracking.
Absolutely.
And Lee for being here in the booth with me.
You asked, my friend.
I am glad you accepted. This has been very fun.
The... Sitting here going, what is the most likely play for Ruby? I mean, the likely play is go back into Mire, but I can see Ruby also doing the try and do something that isn't the obvious when he feels so behind already.
Yeah, if he does Hera Basement and that has Flippers or Fire Rod, that could be huge.
It would let him go mode Swamp and Ice if it's Flippers, or...
And honestly, that's probably his biggest out, because otherwise he's just following in Olive's footsteps, but he doesn't know that.
Yeah. Interesting torchlighting option, but...
It works.
It worked. Making sure to pick up key so if he gets a... I wouldn't be picking up key there because you don't need Fire Rod. You don't need right side if you find Fire Rod because all of a sudden you're in go mode at Fire Rod.
I didn't even notice when Olive went through that we had a vanilla key in that pre-Moldorm chest. You don't see that too often.
I keep forgetting to make the announcement, the comment in general chat. There's an interesting thing about this mode, Drossi and Lumaga. You can actually have 2 small keys in Mini Helma Room in this mode because of the overworld branch.
Oh, so logically there's 0
Correct.
small key access to Mini Helma? Like there's an entrance? Oh,
Correct.
I hadn't thought about that. And Olive has decided to go to Ice Palace out of logic and just hope Rule of Fire puts the Fire Rod there.
It's not a bad gamble. You need to do dungeon anyways.
There's the book for Ruby, so let's see if he follows that in lieu of going to Mire.
Right now he's going for his boots checks.
Oh, right, he hasn't done Bonk Rocks.
Oh, yeah. I keep meaning to make a statement about the logic thing for people to realize in making decision-making in this. So, I guess that can be my statement, is I said it publicly here.
I appreciate knowing that, because I hadn't actually thought of it. But, of course, Door Branch has different logic than VT. And unfortunately, Ruby is just going to Mire here. I was wondering if he'd use the logic of Olive must have gone to Mire before me, and if the answer was here, there's no way I can win, so I should be doing other things.
Clear dungeon for... right now it's just clear dungeons because I have to try and gamble and get to 10 with what I find along the way.
Right, but the point is...
Yes.
If you could get to 10 with what you can find along the way, then Olive would also be doing that, only faster.
You might also be hoping that Olive was late to the pod play as well. Because you don't know what your opponent's done.
Right. Unfortunately, that was all a function of Ruby skipping Dam early. So really, this whole seed has turned on Olive doing Dam and Ruby skipping it in their first time through the Light World Overworld.
Gil, we can't have fire on Laser Bridge. Ruby's already done the first check of TR. Trust me, I want fire on Laser Bridge too, but we've already done that check.
I haven't been counting items in Ice Palace. I've seen at least one.
Trinex has been counting for us.
Ah.
We have one item left.
Okay. And there it is. So, Ice Palace is not the answer.
Chat keeps wanting pencil. We still don't have the red pendant.
So, it's gotta be Bombos or Hera Basement at this point?
Mm-hmm.
One of those has either the Fire Rod or the Flippers.
Or the red pendant for a pedestal.
Oh, yes, for something on Ped. Ooh, almost had a nice clean Cold Stare fight, but the Puffs got away from him.
Yeah. A little bit of a puff party in the end, but red mail's still so durable.
Yeah, red mail 14 hearts, no less.
Alright, and there's Triforce 9. We are almost done with our snack-sized bag of Doritos.
Yeah, so you find Flippers, you just go mode swamp, you find...
Yeah, all of still can
Fire
Smith
Rod,
chain into Bombos right now.
Oh, right, he hasn't done Smith Chain yet.
Meanwhile, Ruby'd be more likely to go up to do Ether Tablet into Hera Basement than Bombos. But first, we still have to finish Meyer for Ruby, and this looks like a trip to Smith Chain. So, we're going to find out where our go mode is here soon. This does mean that Scary Hell of Will of Silver's for Ganon.
Oh, true. We didn't think that was going to happen. We also didn't think...
Who knew you were going to have a terrible seed here for this, right?
Well, it's not our fault that no one checked Bombos or Hera Basement.
You rolled the seed. I think it is your fault.
I mean, it might be my fault that an item's there, but I didn't tell the runners not to check those locations.
I mean, how do you route in Bombos Tablet in the seed right now, though? Especially if you're Ruby.
Right, given where the book and the boots each... and the mitts, sorry, each were. It's hard to really turn up both of them.
It's hard to turn up every component to do Bombos Tablet in a clean trip.
And with how Olive's doing this, he is definitely planning to do Bombos after Purple Chest. Otherwise, he would have just gone to the Light World included.
Absolutely. And here's a... And following footsteps, we're going directly into Ice Palace looking for a Fire Rod.
Speaking of which, did Olive ever do Ice Rod Cave?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
He did a water walk with Ice Rod. You know, if Bombos isn't it, Olive might do Front of Escape.
That's true. It's denser than Hera Basement. That would give some time back to Ruby. I don't know if it would be enough time to give back, but it would certainly make it a closer race.
Is this go mode? Show me flippers. Those are not flippers. It's Hera Basement.
It was Hera Basement all along.
Our go mode is in Hera Basement.
Which neither of these runners had the respect for. Ruby did Tile Room, but he didn't do Hera Basement.
He had Tile Room when he didn't have access to much else in GT.
Yeah, but,
Olive.
he had the mirror and the fire source. He could have very easily done Hera Basement right after he left GT.
Okay, I like what Olive's doing here, hoping to see a flippers and escape right now. We know something about it, but he is leaving a portal at 7 to be able to go directly into Swamp Palace if he finds the flippers.
Yeah, that's good preparation. Probably not worth keeping the portal and going the long way to Hera, though.
No, but in terms of the light world play you're making here, the quick light world play, that is heads up. Well, that is worth calling out on Scary Olive. Our eyes are kind of glued to Ruby, see where he goes after this.
What do you know? The map was in Dark Cross, just like we said it would be.
It's like we actually paid attention to that. And by we, I mostly mean me, because you asked me if we found a map.
Right.
But... oh no, we still could have Rule of Fire, chat.
Yeah, Fire Rod and Hera Basement would absolutely be Rule of Fire.
Actually, it is guaranteed Rule of Fire indirectly. Because Fire Rod is guaranteed behind whatever's in Hera Basement right now.
Right.
I'm trying to think, does Olive have anything else to go do other than Hera Basement right now? Rule of Fire's community joke about Fire Rod or Bombos being locked behind the other, which is also extended to if either of them is locked behind the lamp. Does Scary Olive do Catfish before Hera Basement? I don't think so.
What does Ruby have left at this point besides Bombos and Hera Basement?
Bombos and Hera Basement.
Oh, okay, so he really is down to it. And so if they both go to Hera Basement right now...
Ether.
Oh, right, so that makes it more likely that Ruby would do Hera Basement.
Here's Hera Basement for Olive.
And what's Ruby fluting to?
This is a front of TR check for Olive.
And meanwhile, Ruby's doing what? Front of Skull Woods?
Front of Skull Woods into Graveyard Ledge.
Oh boy. We could have had quite a race if both of them had gone to the mountain at the same time. Though, yeah, Olive's going to spend a little bit of time getting that big key out of TR. But that won't take that long, since he'll get locked out so quickly.
Yes, this is a TR Tile Room Hera Basement play, maybe. Luckily, Ruby's doing the fast way through here, which is get key in the map chest and pick up both items.
Okay, yes, very fast. But you're right that he will almost certainly do Graveyard Ledge while he's in the area. So that'll basically put all of a mountain climb ahead of Ruby.
Drosy?
Yes?
Where did Olive get the cape?
The cape, they both got it in GT. Ruby has it.
Okay. Yep, we're getting the other tile room.
Oh, we do have a race as long as Ruby goes straight to the mountain after this.
Please don't bomb jump right side, Olive. Like, yes, I want you to. There is a part of me is biased to want you to. Please don't. I want to have a good race comm.
Oh, Ruby's doing Bombo's tablet because he doesn't want to do Hera Basement, even though he can combo it with Ether. So once again, edge to Olive, as long as he doesn't bomb jump the right side.
What is the seed, Drosy?
It's called I'm going to hard last locate Hera Basement no matter what. And Olive will hard last locate Hera Basement very slightly faster than Ruby will.
You're on the cape, and you menu instead of quick swap.
Oh yes, this isn't a hard last location for Olive. Chad is remind. Oh no, he's
No!
oh. Every time I think someone might actually do Hera Basement, they don't. Ruby will find something else after he checks Ether. Something. I don't even know what, but he will find something to keep him out of Hera Basement. Oh my, this is the Hobo check. We haven't seen Hobo yet.
Olive, why? Hi, Olive.
Hey, maybe Hobo has the fire rod and Hera Basement has the flippers. It's unlikely, but it's possible.
What is happening? I can't stop laughing and smiling.
Okay, we're out of there. Let's hope he chooses Hera Basement over No, he didn't save and quit to the mountain. He's doing catfish.
What is happening here? I have, like, what? How?
Rydex, are you gonna have a team meeting?
I sense a team meeting happening here.
Because he was right there. He did the other tile room.
You know, Trinex is right. Wait, Trinex, you're not having one right now.
Trinex and Olive are very much fans of this being a beer league. To wit, I'm having a beer right now.
Hey, Lumog, are you? Am I the only person involved here who isn't?
Which, I mean, Lumaga's probably having a glass of wine.
Granted, Drosy, you know there's the flippers for Swamp. We're making a reference to Season 5.
Oh yes, there was a famous race between Olive and Gamma where they each made a sandwich in the middle of the race.
Oh, I loved listening. Can we just I'd like to just shout out Rick for his incredible commentary during that moment. Because he commentated the entire sandwich making on Olive's camera.
He was listening it ingredient by ingredient.
Uh-huh. No!
Where? Oh, was there an item in...
Chess as an item?
Oh!
What is this race? Gilgamesh calling out the...
Ruby's in go mode!
I actually feel bad for Olive on this one, because he had a lead for so long.
Yes, he did. He could have gone to Hera Basement at any time.
I won't lie. I'm happy for the outcome we're having right now.
Yes, your team will go to 3-0
right now. But I'm very confused and sad as a commentator. I really wish that this race went differently, because it feels like Olive just kind of threw not doing Hera Basement with the tile room check earlier. I don't like that feeling as a commentator because it's like you just feel bad at this point, you know?
Yeah, you know, you're down to your last few checks. You want to combo things as much as possible, even if they're very long checks. When you have like literally 5 checks left in the game, and some of them aren't even in logic.
Like, sure, I can make some understanding of wanting to do catfish or the season big key checks. Like, I can't make a lot of sense, but the hobo play baffles me.
I think I cursed us at the outset by saying that a lot of these races have been an hour 20.
Looking at probably an hour 34.
Yeah. I mean, Ruby should be able to get to Ganon pretty quickly. I mean, he can probably just run to Ganon from here. I wouldn't even save and quit.
Was that a moment of thinking of what did I skip?
Oh. Well, I think he realized, I think, feels bad, man.
And this is going to be triangle 10 for Zeruvian with the final pendant. Yes!
Yay!
We got
what do you think, Fire Rod on Ped?
Oh, I don't know. We're not going to find out until the credits, but oh, I am so excited for that. I am more excited about getting all of the dungeon prizes than I really should be.
And yeah, Ruby is just gonna run to the pyramid from Swamp.
You know, chat's right. That was the red pendant dungeon. That was, by all accounts and purposes, a vanilla pendant.
What do you mean that was the red pendant dungeon?
So in the overworld branch that we use for Roll's boss hunt, you know where we usually put the PNC to indicate crystal pendant?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's still there. Like there's like
it shows the 1 through 7.
Hera's the second crystal dungeon, like what's on Olive screen. I hadn't thought about that.
Correct. But Swamp was the red pendant dungeon.
Oh boy.
So that was a vanilla red pendant.
Truth in advertising.
As it can be when the Triforce is planned into the prize drop. And there's go mode for Scary Olive, but just too little too late here, as we are in phase 3. It would take a catastrophe for Ruby for Olive to catch up now. So, Drosy, this was a fun one to call, though.
Oh, yes. I mean, especially as it got more and more ridiculous.
Right, and 1 silver, 2 silver, that's a double and a double. We've got a exploding pig. And down goes Ganon for Zeruvian. Get your GGs in chat for Zeruvian and TM32 Godroute taking their 3rd win to go 3-0 in the league this season so far.
And an official time of 1:32:49. And looks like Olive is going to finish the seed out. Pretty fast.
He's right there.
Right. Pretty fast to go mode Swamp and then do Ganon with Tempered Silvers. Triforce is apologizing.
You should, Triforce.
So what was it? Less than a minute between Olive getting go mode and Ruby finishing in the end?
About a minute, yeah. I mean, if we have as much fun as I just had on commentary for this one, then I think we'll be fine. Okay, we'll see if we can get Ruby in the chat if he wants to join us before the finish.
And it looks like that race is going to be Friday night at 8:30 Eastern.
And there's Ruby joining us.
GG.
What did I just do?
Provided
you
Leaf
did-
and me with a lot of entertainment.
Not miscount your items in Tower of Hera.
I knew how many items were in Tower of Hera. I was going to go back if I had to. Send this to the homewrecker, please.
No, based on what we saw, all of miscount Hera.
Oh, come on now.
Because he went back, he had done the 50-50 in Eastern. He went back for Eastern Big Key chest before he went to Hera Basement.
Wait, how do you do the 50-50 if you get Big Key, Map, and Compass in that order?
Gam, he had Dark World access and full Dark World
Okay, he
access
did the
anyway.
0-100.
I was going
Well,
to say.
he did it after Pod.
Okay, that's what I wanted to do, but you saw me pull the trigger on going to Eastern going, well, if anything's here, I can just find a lamp anywhere. And then I'm
Right.
like, and then I find the hammer, I'm like, oh. And then I'm like, I can't just cut this route. I've got to go to Agina's cave. And I kind of regret my decision.
I mean, you were much earlier to the midst than Olive was. It just kept you away from Pod.
Yeah, that's the problem. When you have myths, the entire world is suddenly open and you can go glean at GT. The mountain looks good. Opening TR looks good because you get a cane on the mountain. Your Smith chain looks good because you've got a mirror. Suddenly everything's available. Give me fire, I go to ice. Give me flippers, I go to swamp. Give me, like, ugh.
It just put every movement tool in Powers of Darkness.
Powers of Darkness, my favorite place to be. Honestly, I thought I was sunk when I found the flute and the hook shot, and I don't remember where I got the shovel, but it was the first
Also
thing I
in
was checking
pod.
out of pod. Oh, three of those were in pod? Lovely.
Yep.
Every
It was
movement
a
item was
stacked
directly in
pod.
Powers of Darkness.
And you wonder why I wanted to go to pod and then Eastern with the mirror being as early as it was. Ugh.
It's just the floodgate skip tried to get you again.
I'm telling you, that swamp monster under there is after me. So if I had to ask, where is Olive now?
On Ganon.
Ganon.
Oh, he
Phase
just finished
3.
in the race room.
Yeah, he finally did Hera Basement while you were already on the Ganon fight.
I felt like it had to be that close because I hard last located Hera Basement.
There were times when
So
we
did
thought
he.
both of you would go there and that it would be an incredibly tight race if you both went there right around the same time, but every time we thought one or both of you would go there, you didn't.
I thought about it going into GT, but I'm like, as soon as I have the means to climb GT, I'm gonna start digging elsewhere, especially with bombos to open mire. I can open mire, I can get into ice. A fire rod is just de facto go mode. Flippers or fire rod and mire puts me on the hot streak. I go into I go into Skull Woods looking for one of these two things, because I put it off forever and I get 2 items really quickly. I'm like, oh, thank God. And then you just rule everything out. Because you can't progress in TR. There's nothing in ice. Your last pendant's on Argus, and you've already done Pyramid Fairy. So where else do you go but Hera Basement?
Well, GG's to Olive, who finished at 137.45. Hopefully we can get him in here and you guys can discuss what you each did to keep you away from Hera Basement.
I can ask him how good Pod felt to do.
That too.
I'll admit, I was a little worried about this one, Roof.
Don't be worried. You knew I was going to be like, as soon as I found everything and then hard last locate the flippers, I'm shaking my head and smiling.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Olive, GG.
No, I was mostly worried because I was worried about the because you're following Olive's footsteps through ice, and then it comes down to who goes to Hera Basement first, and the answer is question mark.
GG,
GG, Olive.
Do you like Hera Basement, Olive?
It's a mistake. It's a total mistake because when I did my arrow putt, I opened the door, and I forgot, like, I didn't take note of the item. So at the end, I check. Oh, I don't have the small key. It means it's in the basement, and I leave. Otherwise, I would have done it because I don't have the mitts at this point. So I'm still looking for mitts, right?
The problem is, aren't we playing on locations?
We are
Yeah. So
not,
no, we're playing on inventory. That's right. The key can lock itself. Oh no.
Anyway,
because there's a pod key locked in Harmless Hallway.
Yeah.
You're right. You'd think I would remember something like that after getting everything else at a pod.
So, like, I really didn't know what it's total last location for me. Like, when I finished Eastern second dip, that the Eastern was a voluntary skip. But when I was like, okay, so it means I'm missing something here, and then I was like, well, the only dungeon I wasn't sure I got, like, I wasn't thinking about all the items. I think was so I was going in the area. Otherwise, I didn't know what to do. So
Yeah.
unfortunate, because I think otherwise I would have gotten, like, a really good time if I did get the flippers on my first ever trip.
I think if either of us do, this is easily a sub 120 seed.
Yeah.
Easily, because Fire Rod has to be in Swamp at this point. Or, you know, on the man under the bridge, because neither of us.
Nope, Olive did that.
Oh, okay, so it's in Swamp. Got it. Actually, yes. No, it could be on Pedestal.
Nope,
No,
count cash.
the credits,
okay.
yeah.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I was too busy setting up to come banter with you guys.
Yeah, no, it was a couch cash in that case.
Put my mind at ease. Did I get a map to Hyrule Castle?
No, it's in Darkcross.
Okay, I wanted to make
Olive got it.
sure.
I got it.
You went from the back and went and got it?
No, Olive did the Darkcross before the Front Escape after Ice Palace.
See, I'm never going to do that because if the map's just in Dark Cross, then who cares? And you have a mirror.
Well, he had boots, so it was a fast check at that point.
He did it
'Cause if you-
a lot later than I did. Okay.
Like he did it after Bombos and Smith Chain, after Ice Palace.
Gotcha. Because I did it before Eastern.
Yeah, I really don't like to do the Hyrule Castle in open modes, and in this one, like, oh, okay, I can do big bomb and check Uncle. I got a sword. Okay, I'm out. But at the end, I was just like, okay, it has to be something stupid, like it's there. But I knew I would lose at this point probably because I was just checking so many stuff. But you never know, so I just went.
Hera Basement strikes again, and it wasn't just one. Goodness gracious, the race room's called Jolly Flippers. Get out of here.
The flippers were jolly because Ross and I were having a great time over here.
I'm sure. I gave you guys information that you probably couldn't have seen early with the early myths, like, oh, TR's hard fire rod locked. Okay. Oh,
Right.
Jamie's boots locked. Okay. And it's like, I'm getting all this stuff. Like, I'm glad I'm not going deeper into TR looking for the fire rod. Thank you for giving me a big key in the first check. Now, where do I go from here? And I thought every time on the mountain, I should just mirror and do Hera Basement. And if I had, I probably don't even get everything out of GT. I don't even know how early I am to anything else because I'll do Swamp before Pod.
Yeah, and if you find
but without the hook shot?
Well, that's true, but I mean, I'm thinking about it. I'll probably end up going to Pod eventually, but I don't think it gets much faster based on how I routed.
Yeah, my start of the game was very nice. I love my the pod play paid for me. The boots super early. Everything was just flowing, and then nothing forever. Yeah, it is what it is.
Ruby, there's a message in chat from Hera Basement saying that they're here to please for you.
Oh, thank you, Hera Basement. I appreciate that. Now, where's Swamp Palace to apologize for holding onto my fire rod all this time?
Yeah.
So, I have to ask, what did you think of... what do you think of having both red crystals by the time you're done with Kakariko?
I loved it. Well, I got them both... Oh, yeah. I got them both super early, so that helps make my decision to go to Hype Cave first before because I was like, oh, I can do this and route the Hyrule Castle at the same time. And I loved it. Yeah, it's fun doing like 10 minutes. You don't do that every day, so.
And I guess my other question is, did you like how many crystals the game decided to give you early?
I don't want to hear about it. I have 10 prizes.
Yes, you do. So does Olive.
So does Olive.
I mean, we both. I get out of Mire. I know I found a crystal in Mire. I'm not paying attention to crystals because in this mode you just don't care. And suddenly you hear the 7 crystal music exiting Mire, and I'm like, huh? Oh, I can go fight Ganon now. Cool.
Yeah, I will admit, after Olive pulled the 7th crystal of Mire, I started up the GT Big Key guessing game spiel.
I'm going to agree that I think GT needs to be gated in this mode to make it a little bit less. Oh, go to GT once you have the means to go to GT.
And it comes down to the fact that the GT gate didn't make sense in the original boss hunt because we didn't have the prize shuffle, so it gave you the ability to do the save and quit or mirror out of the prize drop. Now the prizes are in the item pool, you can actually have them be found and route into a GT gate.
XD hunt.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Just saying, chat. Wait, GG Olive, you'll have to get your revenge another time, my friend.
Every time I face Zaru in a tournament, he gets me. It's life. One day I will have my revenge.
Yeah, every time I play Olive anywhere else, he saved me on the ladder at like late night races and absolutely pummeled me right through the sand and right, straight. My head's all the way at the bottom of the beach. You're not going to dig me up anytime soon.
Well,
now,
it was fun.
The old ladder. It's always fun to play with you guys.
Here's my last question for Olive.
Yes.
I know my commentator, my co-com, was enjoying a nice beverage during this. Were you?
No. Well, I was enjoying a bubbly because I wanted to do a 4-pack race with Zaru, but he says it's too much. So I said, well, and now I don't have beer at home right now, so because I already when I have at home I drink it all.
We'll plan something. We'll plan something so that we're not literally on the broadcast commentary interview. I don't want to sound like 2023 Ruby.
Yeah. Well, anytime you want to do a little 4-pack for fun, I'm down. Or a 6-pack, or an 8-pack, or a 12-pack.
Goodness gracious, Olive. Please spare my liver.
Man. GG's to both runners. This does put TM32 God Route at a 3-0 position this coming into the season. And I believe they have their next game scheduled on Friday. In fact, I know they have their next game scheduled on Friday because it's my game.
I was going to say, you better know when your game is, Leaf. Yeah, Leaf and Trinex Friday. It's Friday night, right?
Yeah, 8:30 Eastern.
Ooh, tasty.
Yeah, 8:30 Eastern. It'll be a nice post-dinner race. We'll kick back. We'll race some boss hunt. We'll have some laughs. There'll probably be tears of laughter. Because honestly, this mode is great at making you laugh.
I mean, the first item you pick up is a red crystal, and then you walk into Mire, and it's assigned prize is vanilla. You can't help but laugh sometimes.
Did you notice that Swamp was the red pendant dungeon?
And then, Argus drops you the red pendant. Thanks, game.
So,
never change,
GG's
Rando. Never change.
Please follow both of these runners. They're phenomenal. They're entertaining. I love both of these people. Big shouts to Lumaga for jumping in and tracking for us today. Kept Drosy and I honest.
Yes, always necessary. I'm very dishonest on comms.
And shout out to Drosy for inviting me to do this commentary with him.
And thank you, Lee, for joining me. This was an absolute blast.
I mean, the runners helped with making it a blast.
Yes.
We're just glad it didn't blast us any worse than it did.
But that said, I think that's going to do it here tonight. The next race on the schedule, noon Eastern, so in about 13 hours, we have a nice Germany versus Brazil matchup. Yoshi of Banana Brigade versus Rotsiv of Boing Boing Boingers on SpeedGaming 2. So definitely check that out. And we've posted the schedule links in the chat. Plenty of invitational and open league races throughout the day. If you want to see more races restreamed, then sign up. You are welcome to sign up to commentate crew, or if you have the ability to restream. We're always looking for restreamers. So, the more the merrier. Join our Discord. We'll welcome you with open arms. And yeah, I think that'll do it here. Let's see if there's anything else on Speed Gaming that we can push you over to now. Nope. Yes, there we go.
Going on SG2 right now.
Right. Took me a moment to realize that. Yes.
Truant Gamer versus Nochibato for Z1R tournament. So.
And that's the first half of a double header, so you can stick around there and then see Furious K against Druis. So should be a good evening of Z1R for something a bit different, and then again tune in tomorrow for more league action.
Yeah, but with that, I think that does it for us, Drossi.
Yep, I would say so. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you around soon.